Hello YouTube, my name is Chris J, and tonight we are watching Cabalvision Official League game between Rivertown Green Legion and Team Jacob 4-Leaf. So I'm playing with the Woodelfs here, which is the Green Legion team, against a necromantic team, which is obviously the Jacob 4-Leaf team. So right from the start, seems that I was a bit skeptical about my chances to do anything in the game, because the necromantic team is quite powerful actually, with the werewolf on the team, and for some reason also he had a flesh golem with strength 5, possibly because he needed a big guy in the team. The necromantic doesn't have one, so maybe that was his reasoning to choose an upgrade, level up a flesh golem to strength 5. I personally wouldn't do that, but well, yeah, that's his choice. And yeah, my team is a bit short money wise, and I'm unable to get the 3-man yet. Skeptical at first, and I didn't want to get a 3-man because the Wood Elves are more about passing and fast movement, and the 3-man is sort of stands out. But I'm thinking of getting one, sort of to keep the center players here covered with the 3-man. So my idea initially was to get as many elves forward as possible. So here I just blitzed with one of the linemen and cleared out the werewolf here, so that I could run forward. And yeah, I picked up the ball already, and now I'm just covering so that nobody can reach my elf with the ball here. Here I tried to dodge, and I had to re-roll that. And then I decided that there's enough of risk, and I think I actually ran out of time in the turn. I still wanted to cover him with one more lineman, but I ran out of time, yeah. So I think this is game 6, and I still lack some important level ups for some of my players. And I don't have actually a thrower in the team. But being Wood Elves, I can still manage without it. So sometimes passing might be tricky, but it's still possible. So here he's obviously covering my player. He had to blitz to get closer to the ball carrier. But I think it's still possible to dodge back with the lineman here. And I will try to change the flank and the direction of the ball, just to just to confuse him and make him spread out. So you can see he has most of his players on the right flank here, and that is an advantage I should use, I think. So I have now 3 players in front, and the ball is on the right flank. And I think in this turn I'll try to move it to the left flank somehow. Let's see if that's possible. So yeah, I had to dodge out. I quickly give the ball to the lineman here. And now I need to pass, because there's just one pass movement in a turn. And yeah, the wood answer successfully catches it. So since nobody can actually reach me here, I decided to stall some time and not give my opponent the possibility to get a touchdown, basically. That's a really basic strategy in Blood Bowl. Yeah, being Wood Elves, I run the risk of injuring my players if I stall too long for the before a touchdown, because all of my players are armor value 7, and that's the risk at the moment that I was willing to take. So he's trying to move his players back. And it seems that he's just surrounding this stands the lineman here. And he wants to foul him. That's a pretty normal strategy for the necromantic team. It's taking a bit of time. For some reason he wants all of his players around him. So he blocked with this white here. So my lineman is down, but he's not injured at the moment. So it's my turn now. I chose still to continue stalling the game, and I move in some more players to cover the wardens are here with the ball, so that there's no one who could actually reach him in the next turn. So I block him down, and he's actually stunned, so there's some luck in that as well. Here I must run away from the flesh column here, because he's really strong. That's still the strength 4 guy. And I decided to bring this guy to safety, because he has the block skill on him. And this guy has had an injury. Probably something was broken, and yeah, he lost the movement ability. So he chose to foul with his good player, with his strength 5 flesh column, and he was sent off. That's actually a big mistake, I think, because he remains there for the rest of the game. In his place, if he wanted to get my lineman off the field, he should have fouled with one of the zombies, I guess, but not with the better players, because he just, if he receives a red card, he's just off the field and that's it. And I was actually a winner in this situation. Yes, I did lose a player. He was not injured, he was KO'd, knocked out. And that guy was like, what? Just a basic lineman with no additional skills or anything. He probably wanted to get an injury on him and thus gain some skill points on the flesh column, but it didn't work out. So he's off the field for now and for the rest of the game, so he won't cause any more trouble for my players. So here I see he's still trying to surround my players, and I think it's a good time to score before any of my players is injured. Oh, the other flesh golem is down. And he chose not to reroll that. Yes, as I said, I think this is a good time to score. So it's 1-0, and I'm in front. The Leaploth has scored a touchdown. I think he's the better player in my team. So I get my player back. His flesh golem is still out of the game because he was sent off by the referee. I still have all my players on the field, and now I'm defending. It's playing against the necromantic team. It's always impossible. It's always necessary to keep your players away from the sidelines, because the werewolf here, he has a lot of movement allowance, and also the what do we call this, the frenzy skill, right? I forget sometimes. So if I would place, for example, this lineman any closer to the sideline, he would be able to blitz him and try to push him off the field, off the pitch actually. So both teams gain a turn. It's not very good for me because he will have more time to score. So he's now basically pushing forward with his center force. There's both whites in the center, flash column, and yeah, all his blocks were successful. Two of my players got stunned. Now he's just pushing forward with the other players here. Yeah, now he needs just to pick up the ball and get somewhere into cover so that I can't reach him with any of my players. Looks like he's creating a cage around the werewolf here. Yeah, the zombies are so slow to move. Sometimes it annoys me as well. So I'm pushing away his ghoul here, and he gets injured. That's pretty good. He has less players who could handle the ball or run away from my players. So I think I just choose to cover all the ways which he might choose to get closer to my touchdown line, and here I just was forced to push away the zombie here, and I just moved back to stay in defense. Yeah, here I made a small mistake of not covering my war dancer. He was really close to the flash column and he had a good block on him, and he actually got knocked out. He can still come back when there's a kickoff event, just before the kickoff event, if I get some lucky dice rolls. But for the moment I just have one war dancer on my squad. So he's moving the ball forward and caging it really well, I think. Yeah, the zombies can reach. But it seems that, yeah, they are the part of his team that keep him in check. Just because the zombies don't have too much movement allowance. Basically, they can move 4 squares. And it's twice as slow as the werewolf, for example. So if he chooses to cage the whole time, he can move forward just 4 squares at a time. and he doesn't have too much time to do it. And at the same time, he still needs to block my players. So, and if I'm lucky, will be able to keep away from him, from his players. So here I think I went a bit overboard by covering this right flank here, and this this central line is pretty empty here. He could just move forward, but instead he chose to block the war dancer here. I think he was hoping to injure him, and he was not lucky in this case. So here he actually continues to block my players, probably still hoping to injure them. Yeah, because all of them have armor values 7, and that basically means they are more easily to injure. So nothing actually too bad happened in this turn. So looks like I've chosen to attack the ball carrier here. So I've covered these two players so that they can't help the werewolf who's carrying the ball. I choose to leap forward with the war dancer and attack the player carrying the ball. I have strip ball skill on the war dancer here, but because of the sure hands skill on the werewolf, I couldn't. Yeah, my skill didn't work on him, and I didn't get the ball that way. But at least, yeah, the werewolf is in my block zone here, and it will be hopefully harder for him to move away. Well, here's me hoping he will not injure my war dancer at all. He still has 2 turns to do something about it. And yeah, he's stunned, so that's okay. He tries to dodge away, and I think that was a misclick by him, because I think he said in chat that he didn't notice the dodge event there. So now I just need to cover the ball so that he can't pick it up and do anything with it. He could still try, for example, to pick up the ball with the werewolf and pass it to someone who could reach the touchdown line. I don't know if this white could do it. Probably. I'm not sure though. Just in case, I'm covering all his options, and here I just try to pick up the ball, and I think I'll try to pass it forward, just to get the ball further away from my touchdown line. And the pass is successful after a reroll. But it's the last turn, so who cares about the rerolls? Yeah, that's the end of my turns in this half. So he has just 1 turn remaining, and yeah, obviously he's trying to injure my war dancer. War dancers are the best players in the team. And yeah, if you're playing against wood elves and you have the chance to injure a war dancer, you should absolutely do it. So here he's trying to injure him with a white, and again he does the same mistake. He's using a good player to injure my player. The war dancer, did he even get stunned? Whatever, that's the end of the half, and he lost a white again. So that was his those were 2 big mistakes in the game here. So my War Dancer that got knocked out in the first half still remains knocked out. But he has lost 3 players. In total, I'm 1 player short. So I'm still in front, both in score and also in player count. So here I just chose to create some basic lines just to cover anything that could move forward and be able also to react to any movements by his players. And he looks like he's creating a larger cage to cover his werewolf. Okay, some randomly selected players get stunned because of kickoff event. Oh my god, I remember this, yeah. He just got really unlucky with this. How many players got knocked stunned? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of his players, and he has just 3 players remaining at the moment. He will still need 1 turn to recover from this. I don't remember if I managed to reach him. Oh yeah, possibly. But can I block the werewolf? I don't remember what happens next. So I need to clear the path so that my players could reach the werewolf. And yeah, somebody could run through here. It's the War Dancer, of course, because he has better skills. Unfortunately, it's not a good dice roll, and the wolf just gets pushed back. And again, the strip ball skill doesn't work on the werewolf. And here I'm just trying to sort of cage the werewolf so that he has a harder time to move away from my players. And there's some strange defensive line here as well. Now looking at the game again, I think I should have moved these players more to the center rather than leaving them exactly on this right sort of flank here, because all the left side of the field just remains empty. Yes, he moved his players in so that he could safely try and block the lineman here, and he was very successful with his werewolf here. And now he's just trying to run away from my players. But since my linemen are pretty agile and they can move quite well, I think I'll be able to cover him at least with 1 player. Okay, moving in. Moving also this player here just to be on the safe side. And I was unlucky, my player slipped here twice, also after a reroll, so I just have 1 player covering him here. And did he get injured or knocked out? Yeah, he just got knocked out by falling down. That's pretty unlucky. So it's his turn. He's again trying to do something about my War Dancer. That's pretty normal. And he got knocked down. Well, a decent block against him. So now he's trying to block my other players that are in front. Yeah, he's moved away with his werewolf and he's trying to run away, stay on the touchdown line or really close to it, just to be able to score really easily. That's good for me that he's moving my players closer to my touchdown line. I can still try to reach him better that way. Yeah, this player didn't have enough movement allowance to reach the werewolf here. And this guy as well. I know I used the GFI to reach the wolf there. I chose also to try and dodge away with the war dancer here because he was on the floor and I didn't want him getting injured. I'm also trying to surround the werewolf just in case I get lucky enough and I could push him away somehow. Yeah, that's really unlucky. Double skulls 2 times. That's a really bad situation here. So now all he has to do, I guess, is try and dodge away and get the touchdown. For some reason, I think... Yeah, he's still trying to do something about my lineman there. Now he's dodging away with the wolf there. And he's so unlucky, he didn't do it even after a reroll. So that's good for me. I need to pick up the ball now and try to move it away or even score. Let's see what happens. I'm out of rerolls, so it might not be too well, but yeah, what can I do? Just have to risk it. Normally elves can pick up the ball quite well. And here is the situation where I'm not fortunate. And the dinerd, or whatever you call him, then pick up the ball and just remains really very close to my touchdown line. He's pushing, he's blocking my players there. Moving also his flesh golem closer to my players over here. I still have decent numbers, but they are really spread out, which is not too bad for Woodelf team, because if I get to pick up the ball, I could move it forward really fast with a couple of passes. But it's still his turn, and let's see what happens. So he's gets a push on me. It's a frenzy and double skulls, but he still has a reroll. And yeah, he manages to get a block on my player, gets the ball, and just gets a touchdown. Unlucky that I couldn't pick up the ball previously, but his wolf dog is really happy. Okay, let's see what happens with the knocked out players. I think I get back 1 player, yeah, so still 2 out. He has 3 injured players and 1 knocked out, so I'm 2 players short and he's 4 players short, so I'm still ahead. Now I have 4 turns to get the touchdown. Should be possible. So my idea here is to use both flanks here, just to be able to spread out his defense even more. So now I can move my players one adjacent square. So it's good for me. I move in with the lineman here so that he could just catch the ball when it falls down. And I move away from the players here so that I don't need to dodge after the ball falls down from a high kick. So here, just run ahead just to get behind enemy lines, so to say. Both teams are out of re-rolls, so funny things might happen. I'm still confident that I can score, because Woodelfs normally need 2 to 3 or even less turns to score. Here I move a bit back because I need to knock out some of his players before I can try and pass the ball forward. He's trying to cover this player on the right flank. Yeah. So if you're new to Blood Bowl, the idea when playing any kind of elves is to spread out the players, have the ball carrier in the back, have at least one player in the middle of the field who could receive the first pass, and then try to run that second player forward and drop off the ball to the player in a scoring position. So he knocked out this player over here who was in a good position, but he didn't cover the left flank here. So it's my opportunity to move the players forward here. And that's what I'm actually doing. And unfortunately, the Dorana elf here, lineman here, didn't catch the ball. Unlucky that way. If he would have gotten the ball, I could pass it forward still. Here he's just pushing me towards the ball so that the ball would knock away somewhere. And now, yeah, he's moving forward this zombie here. And then what he's doing here, he'll try to injure my player again, but Gosta is just knocked out. And his zombie is not sent off, unlike his other players. Here he makes a mistake by trying to GFI with the zombie. He probably tried to cover some zone here. Yeah, now I need to make sure that he can't pick up the ball. So I'll probably try to push away. First of all, I need to push away this werewolf here. It's a good block, and he should fall down, or what? Oh, no, I'm moving him towards the ball. That's okay. I'm pushing back the zombie as well, so that my other lineman here is free to move without risk, and then I'm trying to pick up the ball. That's successful. I can run away with it and try to pass it forward to this guy here. It's a good pass, and I think I'm choosing to stall here because again nobody can reach this player here, and now I'm comfortable to risk any injuries or blocks on my players because there's just one turn left for him. He can't do too much with it, and in the next turn I'll just score with that player at the back without any risk. So he's moving his players closer. I don't know which one he will try to injure actually. Let's take a closer look. Looks like it's going to be this lineman here. Oh, he's attacking that lineman in the back. Okay, whatever. He's knocked down, but nothing bad happens, and here his zombie just slips. I don't know what he was trying to do. Maybe cover this lineman here. And yeah, that's basically the end of the game. I make another touchdown, and it's 2-1. The Rivertown Green Legion wins. So that's basically it. Thank you for watching. Give this one a like, and see you in the next one.